Hey everyone, my name is James and welcome back to ChippysCouch, and we're back for another day of Terraria Masochist Mode. Now, today's episode was originally going to be focused solely on Masochist Mode Plantera, and that's a fight I'm very much looking forward to doing, but I decided in today's episode to steer the ship in a slightly different direction. So what we're basically going to do today is muck around a little bit, and we're doing this for two very important reasons. Number one, it gives me a little bit of a break because I feel like I've done a lot of boss grinding recently. For example, if you didn't catch the last episode, it ended up starting off in 2019 and ending up with a victory in 2020. So that kind of shows how long that it took to make that one. But it also gives the chance for the world to just grow a little bit. We can now get life fruit and Plantera bulbs, and of course, they take time to settle in. So I thought we could muck around a little bit by using the destroyer gun. If you didn't get the chance to see this, it's basically a weapon that barfs out your very own destroyer. And I find it kind of amazing. For one, it looks very interesting, I would say. It really is like having your own destroyer just as a pet. But it's also kind of goofy and kind of bad. I'm not going to lie. It's very weak. And especially if you're in a situation like this, like I've got to get out of that. All they're doing is spamming a little bit of Ocarina of Time, and I'm not about that. But the thing with this weapon is, it's quite low powered, however, it will decide to linger around if the enemy hasn't been defeated. So it can look pretty cool, like on camera I think it's going to look very interesting. So I was trying to think of all the ways that we can make this a better weapon, right? This is what I want to try and do. I want to see if we can make this even slightly viable. So to look into it a little bit deeper, it's a summon damage based weapon, which means that it's based off of your summoning armor and accessories, but it uses magic to spawn and it doesn't count as a summon. So what I think we need to do is to get ourselves a set of summoning armor so that we can make like a little bit of a basic setup for it, and then we can have a bunch of summoning enemies and stuff like that. And I feel like it's going to be just like a lot better than what we're doing right now with adamantite armor. So the obvious choice for armor is going to be the spider set. However, it's a pretty goofy time to make it, just being completely honest, because it's a pretty weak armor set. It only has 20 defense, which is a lot lower than adamantite, and definitely a lot lower than chlorophyte. But if you were playing expert mode Terraria, this is the only armor set that you would probably be using. They did add some new summoner armor with the old one's army. However, you're not meant to be able to beat that event at this current point. I mean, you totally can beat it, right? I mean, Euromir could probably smash it up with a copper short sword. You know what I mean? Like, you know, nothing's impossible in Terraria. However, it's kind of focused around you're meant to do Plantera with the spider set, and then you're meant to get the one from the old one's army. So that's my logic for that one, right? So yeah, today's episode almost didn't happen. I went home to go see the Famalam, as I do every weekend, or every other weekend basically, and my car decided to like pull a flat. Basically, I was driving down the road, and it was like, you've lost pressure in your back right tyre. And I was like, yeah, sure, like whatever. Probably doesn't matter, because it says it every now and again. And it's like, yeah, you just need to put some air in it, it'll be fine, right? It's just the car being a little bit sensitive. And I was on my way to go get a sandwich, and then I was going to head home. So I like pull up and I'm like, right, I'm just off to go get my sandwich. And I like briefly looked at the wheel. I wasn't really like thinking about it. And I was like, all right, that's a blowout. That's not good. So thankfully, AA coming up big came and sorted me out within 30 minutes. And boy, I was down the road. So I got to get home and everything's fine. Unfortunately, didn't get a new tyre. They just like quickly mended. Apparently it was a nail. A nail caused it. But they like just quickly mended it and was like, yeah, you're good to go for like 100 miles. You know, just go buy a new tyre. So that's the goal tomorrow. I've got to go buy a new tyre. And then, you know, the car will be fine, right? So just to give you like a brief demonstration of how goofy the weapon looks. This is actually a prime example of how it actually stays in one area trying to defeat the enemy. And I think it lingers around for like 5-6 seconds. It's pretty decent actually. Like if it had better damage, it could be, you know, really good. So yeah, I've got 37 so far, so we're going to grind out a little bit more, and then we'll make a full spider set, and then we'll like see what we can do from there. This could either be like really good, or is this going to like remain trash? And honestly, I kind of think it's going to remain trash, but I've got to try it. I have to. I have to see if you can become the king of the destroyer it's got to be done. One thing I'm kind of interested in, and I guess it really depends on the player. When you're playing Summoner, are you meant to go defensive, you know, and let the summons kind of fight for you? Or do you reforge everything to menacing so that the summons kill their enemy quicker and you have to dodge better? I actually don't know, because I don't really play Summoner all that often. Or at least I don't think I've ever played it properly. Even in my free time, I don't play Summoner. I think it looks great though, that's the thing. I'm really looking forward to Terraria 1.4, honestly, because like even in the trailer, we added in a couple of new summoning things, if you haven't seen them. And I really want to use them. You know, now that I know that they exist, I'm like, Summon is going to be good, right? Okay, so let's destroy this first off. That just shows you the damage. It's not too bad, considering that this is meant to, like, add to something else. Hey, I got a truffle worm. I actually don't know how I got the truffle worm, but cool. Like we're going to do the destroyer, though. Sorry, Duke Fishron. I want to see Duke Fishron, but I know that I'm not going to be able to beat it. Because I know what it's like, right? When you have a boss that you're already bad at, and then the game's like, yeah, we'll just make a harder one. Like I'm going to be able to beat it. Waste of time. Waste of time. I'm not going to be able to do it. But I will try it, though. I do want to see what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to make a full set of spider armor. And then right here, what we have is the pungent eyeball. We got this from the Wall of Flesh. So it grants immunity to blackout and obstruction, but it also gives you 2 extra minions and increases your number of sentries. Now, the sentry that we could make right now is, if we'd have found out the old one's army, we could have had some of those. But we could make the Queen Spider sentry. But I feel like it's going to be kind of pointless, because I want to play this more like run and gun. So as you can see, our defense has dropped down from 40, which is already pretty low for hard mode, down to 24. So I would assume then what you probably do is you do reforge these to warding. I don't want to blast the money right now, but it's worth keeping in mind. And then I want to make the staff for the eyeballs. I can't remember what it's called though, so I'm gonna have to look it up. Okay, let me grab these hollow bars. Let me slap that in there. All right, it's called the optic staff. This always reminds me of Euromir. Every time I do something summoning though, it reminds me of him. Okay, optic staff. Bam. Okay, so we got Masterful straight out of the gate, which I'm very much happy about. So let's test our new setup then, right? So let's get, let me go over here. For one, I want to buy a summoner's set. So I want to grab one of these, grab a summoner's set. Which one's that? That one. Cool. I'll grab 2. So let me buff up with all of those. So I've got like a whole lot of buffs now. Let me slap that on. I think the summoner set already does it. So how many of these can I get? Oh my god, yeah, that's quite a lot. Can I keep adding more or are they disappearing? It's really hard to tell with these. I think they're disappearing. Okay. So now we just need to run up on an enemy. So I think the perfect place to do that would probably be if we headed to the jungle and made ourselves a pickaxe. Sorry, we got ourselves some chlorophyte. Because it's likely going to happen that this setup's going to be rubbish, you know. Like, that's probably what's going to happen. The setup's going to be trash. And we'll not be able to use it. Sorry. I was getting distracted about what I actually plan to do. So what I'm going to do is mine chlorophyte and test out enemies in the jungle. So I just had a quick little trip to the jungle. Unfortunately, I died. But you know what? The setup's kind of good. I don't know if it's like amazing. And I feel like the defense is going to kill me no matter what. But I thought, you know what? Masochist probably has a way to make a Plantera bulb. And although I said today's episode will not be focused solely on Plantera, I feel like we've got to try it against a boss. The only thing is, I don't have my life fruit yet, and it's going to take a little while for the world to grow it all in. Like, when I was there, I couldn't really find any. But I feel like I have to do this. I want to see what it looks like. You can't make a setup with the destroyer gun and go, yeah, we're just gonna kill a few enemies. No, you've got to, you know, try and kill a boss, right? And look at this. It's so cheap to do this. So, thank you very much, Fargo's mod. Because I think anybody that knows me knows that I hate looking for a Plantera bulb. Actually, you know what? Not so much recently, because we've been playing a lot of mods that basically, you don't really have to worry about stuff like that. Like, the mods are like, oh, we just make Plantera bulbs grow all the time. Thank you very much, right? So let me see. Moonglow, we got 9. I was going to make a few of these, but I probably don't have the stuff. Unless I have some herb bags, which I do. I have 9. So let's see if I can keep adding to my Moonglow. That actually worked out really well. That was good. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's go and make one of these. Well, we'll make a few, and then we'll test it out. I actually think this is going to be good. This is the kind of like stuff that I like to see myself, you know, just like goofy setups. So, for those wondering, I actually did end up beating Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And I'm really glad I beat it, because it was kind of occupying a lot of my time. Like, I like to play games as much as the next person, but I don't really like to become obsessed with games. And what I mean by obsessed is like staying up until like 3 in the morning. And that's dumb. You shouldn't be doing that. Well, at least not in my age, right? Because I pay for it the next day. So I'm really glad I've like got rid of that curse. But all I can think about now is Assassin's Creed. I feel like I'm absolutely plagued by it. I'm actually going to start up Unity tonight. I'm very excited. I've been downloading it today while I've been out. And that's another game that I really hated when it came out. And I'm curious to see if my opinion has changed on it. It probably hasn't, because I remember there was a lot of things I just genuinely just disliked in that game. And I don't think anything's going to change with that. But I'm kind of excited. I got it for free on PC a couple of months ago, once they had the Notre Dame fires. Which is, you know, unfortunate. But big up to Ubisoft for giving out that free game, bro. Mate. But still, very grateful. Yeah, thanks Ubisoft. You are like the most greedy company out there. But at least you could do that. I appreciate it. So I'm going to be playing that tonight. I'm really excited for that. But all I really want to play, truthfully, is Black Flag multiplayer. Does anybody know about this? Is this like a hidden gem? Or is it common? So if you guys didn't know, Assassin's Creed used to have a multiplayer feature that's not like co-op play where 2 people play like a few missions together, which is really cool. Like, I like the idea of that. It was this online deathmatch mode where you were an assassin and you had to hunt people down. These were real people within this big area where all of these people look like the people you're trying to kill. But then you've also got people trying to kill you. So you've got to assassinate and stun people as you go about your day. And oh my god, I used to love it when I was younger. Me and my friend, we would always join the same lobbies and basically just like point farm. You know what I mean? So I remember like we were trying to get like the max level just so that we could get some kind of achievement in the game. And boys, we did it. We were the best assassins out there. And it was great. And I really love that game, and I want to play it again. The Switch version didn't have it, unfortunately, and I feel like the servers are probably dead. But, you know, it is what it is. Right, so let's make sure we got plenty of these. We have plenty of health. This is going to be dumb. This is not going to pay off well. But we're here for science, right? This is an educational channel now. We're dead. So maybe I did big up the setup a little bit too much. Maybe it's not that great. Okay, so I'm back here, I'm alive, and I'm like fully ready to do this. I get really excited for these little sneak peeks. It's like getting a little sneak peek at something that you enjoy now that's later going to become a bit of a nightmare. And you all know that's true, like, you know full well, I'm going to enjoy myself with Plantera right now, and then I'll be regretting it. Like, tomorrow I'll be like, you know what, why was I even excited? But I am. I'm very high energy today. I'm pumped, okay? Right, so, bam. Oh, they made it blue. Ah, blue Plantera. Nice. I keep almost saying Pantera like the band. I did wonder what color it would be because, you know, all the resprites, we've been memeing that they're pink, and kind of most of them are, right? But this is blue because Plantera is already green and pink. You know what I mean? That's where I was getting at with that, but I wasn't really putting it across very well. So this is what this looks like right now with the current build. What will this be like when we have a different weapon? Truthfully, I don't know. This could be what Plantera is for us. This could be like a really good time. We win first time. Boys, let's celebrate. But you all know full well that that's not going to happen. We all know that this is a big bait. And here I am, just like chilling about, you know, just having a good time. It's going to turn into a nightmare. Like, I just know it. When's it going to turn into it, though? I feel like this fight's taken forever. I feel like I'm taking more damage from the nymph than anything else. And I feel like that's not great. Okay, so here's the real Plantera. It's pretty bad. It's not great. It's not a fun time. It's not a great time. I think next time I do this, this nymph has to be gone. Because I feel like I was taking a lot of damage down here just from the nymph, and that's kind of annoying. Alright, we're back here. We've got full health again. And I seem to have cleared out all of the enemies, unless they're going to spawn above me. Which they shouldn't do. I feel like it'll be fine. Okay, so I've been killing like a lot of mimics. My god, look at that. I got a plant. Almost wish I had a portable piggy bank, but you know, live and learn, right? So let's see what happens this time, now that we have like a completely undisturbed arena, where I'm going to be able to like do some turns on the floor and be fine. Because what I really want to do is I want to make sure that I've got as much health as possible for that final phase, or like the second phase, right? Because knowing this, right, there's going to be a third phase where it turns into Moonlord. I sound negative, but I'm actually kind of excited just to see what stuff it'll do. It's almost like when you play Calamity for the first time, and after you've done a couple of boss fights, you know to expect like a crazy twist, and I feel like that's what masochist mode is in a way. It's like it's always expecting some kind of like mad twist, and usually it's pretty unpredictable, and it kind of plays off of like cliches that you would usually just be like fine with. Say for example, the game knows that everybody fights Plantera in a little box like this. It will decide, nah fam, you know what you need? You need to fight it in a circle, not a box. Do you get what I mean? Alright, I've got to remember not to dash, because, oh right. I'm almost commentating this as if it's like completely possible. It probably isn't. But yeah, one thing I've learned with Plantera is that dashing is like bad, because basically you dash into the little grabbers and then you get stuck, almost like not having an obsidian shield. So that's not great, but we definitely got further, and I feel like a little bit more confident about it. I feel like to round off today though, I've got to give it one more go and see if I can like get a little bit further. Okay, so once again, nice clean arena. I do want to see if this Plantera's fruit will actually just summon the boss itself. Yeah, it does. Fargo, I kind of love that a little bit. Thank you. I like that you just add in little convenient things like that. Because I think nobody likes to farm for a Plantera build. That's the truth of it. So I'm going to try and do this a little bit differently. Instead of circling around so much, I'm just going to try and just maintain this at the top. Basically, I really need to stay away from my heart lanterns, because if I want to basically get all these little hearts in from the statues, you have to remain a distance from them for a little bit of time. So constantly circling is probably not the best thing if I actually want to rely on free hearts, which I kind of do, knowing how difficult this will be. Let me just buff up in case anything is gone. Just going to heal up as well. So I would say probably our damage is just not great. Like if I was to swap over to the mini shark real quick, the mega shark, as you can see without a ranger's build, I'm probably doing a little bit more damage anyway. But you know, this is the episode with the Destroyer. Let's give him a little bit of time to shine. Okay, oh, that's my big problem there, is the base of it. I do need to stay away from that. Okay. Right, so what really is different about this boss fight? I can't genuinely tell that much other than the resprite. I can see that it's got the leaf crystals there, which are, you know, something you got to avoid. It feels like fighting the same Plantera though, you know, like there's loads going on, loads of stuff to avoid. I think this isn't great for my summons because it's kind of like moving too quick for the summons. But I'm actually really glad we tried that out. I feel like it was at least a good attempt. Do you know what I mean? So, do you remember at the start of the episode where I was kind of implying today might be a little bit of a filler, a little bit of a goof, so that we can let the world grow? Well, I decided while I was editing it, I actually don't want to do that anymore. I want today's episode to feel like a full episode. And the idea I got is, you know, we've had this little goofy setup, it's kind of fun, but it might not necessarily work or be the best option for right now. You know, it's probably not best to do Plantera with a summoner's build. You should probably do something else, but it is what it is. So I decided that it would be a cool idea to try and fix like all of the mistakes with the build so that we can say, hey, we legitimately tried to make the Destroyer gun something you can kill Plantera with. Do you get what I'm saying with that? So I came back onto the world. Well, I actually let it sit for a little while because, like I said, I wanted to let the world grow. And it grew. I got some life fruit. And I also ended up blowing up the bottom of our arena because I noticed when I was editing up the video, or like what I had, that we took a lot of damage from Plantera's balls, which is like, really is a sentence you probably shouldn't say, but, you know, it's been said, and it's true. Plantera's balls did a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage, right? Love that little meme. So yeah, so this is what the arena looks like now. So I thought we could do a full Plantera fight using the new build. And I have actually practiced it, and I didn't win. And I don't know if I'll win, but I just want the ending to be something a little bit different. So let me place down a few of these bad boys and make sure the arena is fully cleared out. And then we'll begin. I'm actually going to talk over this fight because there's something I wanted to say real quick. So my day was legitimately made yesterday for a cool reason, right? So I don't talk about fan art too often on the channel because I don't really want people to think that my videos are catered towards children, because a lot of children, they send fan art to YouTubers and it's really heartwarming, it's very nice, but basically if you like feature that, you know, it's not good, right? It does make you look like you're pandering young. But then again, you always get teenagers and actual artists that make stuff, and it's like the coolest thing ever. Like, for example, all of the artwork on Chippy Gaming and ChippysCouch was all done by a fan of the channel, who then I later commissioned to do something cool, right? So it can go different ways. Like the current setup for ChippysCouch, the little pixelated man, that was a fan of Series 1 who made something cool and sent us it, and I repurposed it and like commissioned the person so that I could use it, right? Does that make sense? Anyway, I've got to really focus here. What happened is there was a piece of like YouTuber fan art on the PewDiePie submissions Reddit, and it was created by Mythical Water, and it was just like a bunch of YouTubers drawn as geese or gooses, and it was just really cool. But the coolest thing about it that really like warmed my heart is that even though it was the PewDiePie Reddit, so many people were so buzzed that I was in the image. And that was like really nice. Like, it's nice to know that, you know, our little community, it stretches to other places of the internet. It was so heartwarming. I really enjoyed it. I thought, first of all, I thought the image was dead cool. I shared it on Twitter if you want to have a little look. But it was just like a really nice moment. You know, I felt like a real YouTuber, and it was cool. Look at how close we got. Oh, no. Now I feel bad for talking over it. But you know what? That was a story worth telling because it did actually make my day. Like, I just loved it. It was dead cool. So I think that's going to be it for today's episode. Tomorrow we'll come back even stronger. I think tomorrow we're just going to smash it out straight away. And then we'll focus on Gollum. But I really enjoyed that. That was a cool episode I enjoyed today. So guys, I'm going to head off. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new around here, I was meant to say this at the start, but if you do want to subscribe, hey, I'm available. There's a button right there. You can watch the videos every day like everyone else. Right. Okay, peace out guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.